What's up, guys? It's Mark back again with another live stream video. I'm going to wait just for a little bit and wait for people to kind of come into the room. But while we are waiting, you guys can let me know how the audio is. I'm using the lavalier mic wirelessly right now. Not for sure how good it's going to sound, but I did at least want to give it its due diligence just in case I wanted to do some live stuff elsewhere and actually use this. So you guys let me know how it sounds. Like I said, new microphone on here. I don't usually use the wireless mic. I usually use my mini shotgun microphone with my phone. So that's what I'm recording this on right now. Let's see. Let me see if I can get into a chat room real quick. Yeah, it looks like, well, you're the first one, so there is more people here coming in now, but it looks like you were the first one. Let's see. Let me pull my chat room up here, but nope. Hi there, Mark. There's a bit. Okay. The audio seems fine to me. Okay, great. Tell me if you can hear this. Like, I wonder if it's even transmitted in there. I'm sure that it is. I hope that doesn't annoy anyone, but I do want to talk about some film today. So trying to hook up my chat room here. It's always a little bit odd doing it on the phone because you also have to kind of set up, you know. It's okay for me? Yep, stop it. Okay, my bad, my bad. I apologize. All right, good, good. Glad everyone can hear that. Okay, so like I said, I do want to talk about some film today because I released my shots yesterday on yesterday's video. And, oh, there we go. So I released my shots yesterday on yesterday's video. There we go. Media down. And let me see if I can pull up the chat. I guess I'm just going to have to look at my own damn screen. I don't think I have live chat here on this app. Okay, so anyway, all right, so I wanted to take some questions. I did get a couple of questions already about some things as far as involving film. I am absolutely positively no expert when it comes to film. I know that it's a passion that many of us have. Some of us have been a little bit more willing to give it a shot, willing to try it out, even when maybe it didn't seem like it was the best idea, or it was a little bit too hard, or a little bit too involved. And I did have one guy ask me to basically discuss my philosophy on, you know, what about my post-processing, you know, what I do with my photographs. And the thing of it is that I don't overthink my photography almost at all. Like, I know that there are a lot of other photographers on YouTube that are almost hyper technical. You know, once you get the basics down, once you understand your aperture, your shutter speed, your ISO, your general style, your particular aesthetic, I think that you can end up finding how you want to fine tune it in post at any given time. And depending on the type of film that I'm using, I don't really have a very specific method. You know, I think that a lot of people, when they start doing photography or when they start getting into something that they're not really familiar with, the first thing they want is someone that has more experience than them to just tell them exactly how to do it. And I don't know that that's the best way. I could be wrong. But I genuinely don't think that that's how you ought to be approaching your art. While I do think it's fantastic to, you know, chat with me, to chat with other people, get ideas, share knowledge back and forth and all that kind of stuff, I don't necessarily think that it's the best thing to take direct instruction from somebody. But, you know, again, that's just me. For whatever reason, if you start on that path, if you start on that road where you are constantly waiting for direction from somebody else, I think you kind of take on their personality. I think your art kind of takes on their personality rather than taking on a life of its own. As I said, if you get into it and you learn the basics, you know, there's more of a chance that you are going to accidentally discover who you are, accidentally discover what you are as a creative, as an artist, as a photographer, as a videographer, whatever it ends up happening to be, you should really just dive in. Get the basics down before you waste a bunch of a film or whatever, but don't follow like step-by-step direction as far as composition, as far as lighting, as far as style, as far as film grain. You know, most people absolutely hate it. You know, you just this is a creative medium. Photography is not meant to be stereo instructions, okay? Plug here, you know, wire there. You know, this is not a schematic. Photography, videography, painting, music, it's not that way. You have to be able to give yourself the opportunity to try new things. And, you know, it's so much different being a creative person. Because, you know, you can go to school and you can learn how to be an engineer. You can learn the math, you can learn the trigonometry, you can learn the algebra, you can go to college and you can learn how to be a scientist. You can learn the exact ratio of hydrogen to oxygen, and that makes water. You know, you can do those things in very scientific terms. But with photography, or any creative medium, it has to be about you first. So how much of this portion of you do you want to put into the project? You know, do you want it to be really emotional? Do you want it to be symmetrical? You know, do you want to, on purpose, add some math into that equation and make that a part of your, you know, your photograph or whatever? You know, so these are some of the philosophies that I use when I'm thinking about my photography and how I like to do stuff. So whether that, you know, whether that ends up being, you know, the film, whether it ends up being digital, whether it ends up being post-processing, I take a very, what the hell do I feel like doing today? You know? And, you know, some people admire that, and some people go, man, you don't even go in with a plan? No! Dare I say I do go in with a plan. I go in with a plan knowing that on a particular day, if I go, you know what, I'm going to shoot today, and I'm just going to bust some stuff out, I do have a plan. And especially if I know what I'm shooting, you know. So if you're just walking around, that's a completely different style of photography. You can walk around, do street photography, and let the incidental moments as you walk dictate how you photograph. That's a very specific, and it's a very fluid form of photography. Street photography is, or any sort of, you know, urban exploration or incidental candid style photography. You are not the director. You don't get to decide any of, you know, what time of day it is, how good was your lighting. You just have to make sure that your equipment can handle it. But as far as film is concerned, when you pop a roll of film into your camera, you know exactly the speed of that film. You know that if you're going to be using a film camera, it's not going to be extremely fast to change the settings. Some better than others, but you know, you just have to know that your equipment is going to be ready. Are you going to be ready to capture that moment? So when I go out and I do anything involving my film, that's one of the biggest reasons that a lot of people use 400 speed film is because it is very flexible. It's a very forgiving speed. Some films are actually better at it than other ones. I think, personally, I happen to think that Ilford is much better than the rest of them. And I know several people that will agree with me on that, but I also know a lot of people that would disagree with me. There are hardcore fans of nothing. They won't shoot anything except for Kodak Tri-X, okay? Or they won't shoot anything but, you know, Kodak T-Max, or they won't shoot anything except, you know, Fuji Arca, or just, you know, just whatever or pan film, you know. But again, we're getting right back into, hang on, Subvid says, even though I'm typing this, I feel as if I don't need to because what you're saying is making a lot of sense to me. The basics are important to get to grips with. Okay, and then the rest of it went away, so I didn't see the rest of your comment. But yeah, and one of the challenges that I think I find that most new photographers face is that they're approaching it like our school systems approached everything. It was just sort of like this one size fits all. Okay, you do this, you do that, you do this, and then you've got this amazing image. And that's not how it goes, guys. Film is a very forgiving medium. So forgive yourself if you make some mistakes, because you have absolutely no idea how pleased I was with a lot of the photographs that I was able to capture, with my my last roll of film. Even if the shot wasn't nailed, even if I didn't completely 100% nail focus, for whatever reason. Now, this is my philosophy on film in general. Some people absolutely love digital because of its convenience, and I get it. It is extremely convenient to shoot in digital. But here's the thing with film, and this is my philosophy. With film, because you only have a certain number of exposures on that roll, not only does it slow you down and make you think more critically about the shot before you ever release the shutter button, but you also have to wait. Because after you think all the things were in place and you finally hit that shutter button, you don't get any immediate feedback. You have to wait. And, you get the film home, get it out of the camera, put it in your container, either ship it off to a lab or you do it yourself. And then there's this expectation, there's a hope. You start going, man, I hope I nailed that shot. Man, I can't wait to see what the film did. I can't wait to see how this shot is going to interact with the film. And it is the oddest, most surreal kind of, experience, because once you do finally get it back, even if it wasn't technically perfect, there is this unbelievable, inherent beauty in those shots. I don't know. It's really odd. I don't really know how to explain it. But even if it was just absolutely horrible, for some reason there is something about a film photograph, even if it's only to you, especially to you, because it took so much time to get. Not only did you have to drive out to your location and wind your film into the camera and load it up and make sure that all your settings were right, and you waited for the most opportune moment, and you had to get down in the dirt because there was no flip up viewfinder, so you use all the way down on the ground with your eye, you're really contorting everything, and you take the shot, you have to wait, you get it developed, you get it back. So when you finally see those prints, or your scans, or whatever the case may be, you have an appreciation for those photographs more. I mean, they have to be really, really horrendous for you not to have some level of appreciation for that end product. And I mean, really, really. Film is damaged, massive light leaks, way overexposed where all the detail is just shot. But with digital, it's a completely different experience. You can fire off 10,000 shots and just go, nope, don't like it. And you don't slow down. You don't caress in your mind what your eye sees. And for whatever reason, I think that film allows you to be less critical of yourself, of your art, of your photography. There is just something very rich about it. And it's a completely different experience from digital. That's the reason I continuously encourage people to try out film, to give it a shot. Another question that I got earlier was that people were wondering, why do you love Ilford? And that answer is manyfold. But the biggest reason is that it's cheaper. Plain and simple, it's cheaper. If you buy it by the roll, it's probably about $2 $2 cheaper. You know, if you buy in bulk, it's a hell of a lot cheaper. It's probably about $30 or so cheaper. Like from Kodak Tri-X, it's about $100 for 100 feet of film. And with the Ilford HP5, I think it's somewhere in the ballpark of around $75. Subvid says that I've never tried film and that it scares me. Dude, don't be scared. Try it. You will like it. I'm like a drug pusher here. Try it. You'll like it. So, while the price is, you know, kind of a big deal, there is something very, I don't know, the aesthetic of Ilford. The grain is not as fine. Tri-X has a finer grain structure, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to, you know, be that guy that's like, okay, this is the best and this is the one you should buy. But again, I'm going to tell you that you should definitely discover which one you like the best. Personally, there is no best, but there could be personally for you. And Ilford just seems to work really well for me. HP5 is a fantastic every single day type of film. It works in more situations for me. I think it does great in almost any lighting condition. Now, there are other black and white films out there, some of them much more expensive. The biggest rival to Ilford HP5 would, like I said, be Kodak Tri-X, but again, it's more expensive. It has a finer grain structure, but it's not a bad film. As a matter of fact, I'm shooting a roll of it right now. I'm probably about halfway through it, and I'm actually really, you know, looking forward. And I'm not pushing this film at all because I don't remember at all how Kodak Tri-X responds to the film being pushed. Whereas with Ilford, I know I can push it. And as Mike just said in the comments, you can push it up to 800 ISO. I mean, it comes standard as a 400 speed film. But if you push the film up to either 800 or 1600, my preference happens to be 1600. Oh, it's a very organic feeling. Something that you just don't get with digital. The transitions between shadow and the highlights are so beautiful and so gradual. It's just really amazing. I don't think that enough people have actually tried it nowadays to genuinely and truly appreciate what they're missing. And now there are a couple of other styles of film that I absolutely love from Ilford. HP5 just happens to be a fantastic everyday film. It's cheap enough that it doesn't really matter. Hold on, we got a comment here. I have a number, OC2 Fish says, I have a number of film cameras and now the, whoa, don't go away. Shit. Sorry, can you copy it and put it back? I missed it, I'm sorry. I suck, I'm too slow. I'm going to wait just for a second. Hurry up, dude. Copy it and paste it. Let me see it again. Now you said, were we talking full frame here? Does the same go for medium format, etc.? Excuse my ignorance. Basically, when we're talking about film, I'm talking about 35mm, which would be, in digital terms, full frame. They do make, you know, smaller frames, and they also do make larger frames. You know, you can do 120, medium format, 5x6, you know, just depending on what type of old film camera that you ended up buying. But let me get back to the Ilford, though. They do make some other ones. There's the Delta. Delta is a fantastic film. For like really low light shots, I love the 3200 speed, Ilford Delta 3200. Again, I'm a grain fanatic. Like, I'm on grain's jock. I'm not gonna lie, and most people don't see it, you know, and they want their pictures just absolutely razor sharp. They want a camera that can literally see in the dark and be 100% perfectly razor sharp. I ain't the one. That ain't for me. So, Mike also says, sure does. Been shooting 120 HP5 on various 645 and 660 cams. See, you've got something on me because I don't hardly, I think maybe once maybe once in high school we shot 120 film. Almost all the stuff that we did, and this was, you know, 20 years ago. Jesus Christ, am I that old? Yeah, most of the stuff we shot in high school was all 35 millimeter, just because it was easier to access, a hell of a lot easier to find, and stuff like that. So it was an easier format. Now we did do, you know, test and trial cameras, pinhole cameras, shoebox cameras, old bellows style cameras. Mike says, sharp is not always good. Many models in portrait sessions prefer it not so sharp. I am on camera all the time, and I prefer it not so sharp. I almost don't like using the Sigma 30 millimeter because it's just too damn sharp. I would almost prefer something that's just a little bit softer, like my 18-105 or the, what's my other one? Or the Sigma 19 millimeter is honestly my preferred YouTube lens. It's wide angle enough that I can get the scene here or whatever. This is on a phone though, so I know it ain't gonna be sharp, and I'm live streaming. So OC2Fish07 says, I have skin that prefers not sharp too. I've actually got decent skin. It's just, it's getting old. I mean, it's 39-year-old skin now. I need a, like, what do we call it? I need a microderm abrasion session. But anyway, the, he said, old, let me tell you from old, 69 here. Man, that's not old. Dude, I can't wait, to be perfectly honest. I can't wait to get around your age, because you can just say whatever the hell you want. You can just say whatever the hell you want. Just, man, you just sit on the front porch and you just holler at chicks and just, you get a pass, man. You just get a pass. And I'm just going to be ridiculously filthy and raunchy when I get to be that age. I really am. I'm going to be one of those guys. I'm going to wear like basketball shorts that are just way too high. Sit at McDonald's, whistle at all the chicks coming in. That's me, man. That's going to be me. He says, I love it. I teach for a profession, and I take lots of photos for a hobby, and I am happy. Dude, that's all that matters. It's all that matters. Okay, and the last type of film that I prefer is, what's it called? It's another Ilford film, but I would say that it's much, much more sharp. God damn it, I forget what it's called. But it's a 50 speed, so it's made for people that are planning to do speed lights and stuff like that. So it's very low speed film. Oh, God, I can't remember what it is. Maybe one of you guys will know what it is. But as far as sharpness in film goes, there are circumstances where you do want finer edges. You do want finer detail. You do want more resolution. Ilford FP4. No, I don't think that's it. Is it? Is it? Well, I mean, if it's a 50 speed, then yeah, that's probably it. That doesn't sound right though, for some reason. But you could be right. I don't know. It's been so long since I used any of that stuff, because I mean, the HP5 really is. It's so good as far as general purpose. I mean, that's really about the only stuff that I buy. I also wanted to tell everyone that I do, in fact, plan to buy my chemicals. With the amount of film photography that I am anticipating doing, probably within the next 6 months, I'm probably going to save about $500 or so. Pan F, yes, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate that. There it is. But I do plan on saving roughly about $500 on my processing costs, because I'm not going to have to be sending my film off to be processed as much. So I am going to go ahead and develop my own film, and then I'm going to use the Epson V600 flatbed scanner to actually do the scanning in. And if I decide to get them printed out, I'll probably just send that stuff off to a lab. But $20 per roll, by the time you factor everything else in, you know, roughly $8 per prepackaged roll of the Ilford HP5, sometimes $8.50. Really just kind of depends on where you get it. But by the time you factor in that, and then you factor in your processing, which I found a pretty good price at a local lab here called State Film Lab. Did a fantastic job. They recovered, you know, my images extremely well. It looked like the processing was really, really good. But, you know, that's 20 bucks a roll. So now you're up to almost $30 a roll each and every single time you want to get 36 exposures. Many times much less, because sometimes you don't always get the full 36. You've got to do a test shot or two. Sometimes you just have an accident there towards the end. Sometimes you just don't give a shit and you're ready to get the roll developed and you just yank it out of the camera early. So there are a lot of considering factors that I put into my equation as to actually taking the dive and saying, yes, I'm going to develop my own film. So that's about all I've got, really. But because other than the fact that the film project that we were trying to do here on the channel, I had like 15 or 20 people that were just absolutely stoked about doing it, and I didn't get a single picture. I had hoped that people would actually buy film, take their camera, go out, and shoot. Oh, hang on. Shit, I missed the comment again. I suck so bad. Okay. But yeah, I didn't get a single picture. No one brought me one, and I was hoping that people would go out, shoot this month, do recent photographs. No offense to you, Mike. Like your photographs are gorgeous. I was just really hoping for like an actual response now to the project, and getting some more recent acquisitions, just because it was new. And a lot of people that had said that they were committed to doing it, they said that they had never tried it before, that they were going to get themselves a film camera, grab themselves a few rolls of film, and actually do some shooting this month, you know. But it didn't happen to work out that way. So, albeit I was a little bit disappointed, but not overly so. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop on out of here. I appreciate everyone hanging out with me. I do plan to start releasing some smaller Fujifilm or the Fujifilm X-T3 videos. So if you guys happen to have any questions, have any requests, leave those down in the comment section below. Also, I've got my Sigma 30mm f1.4 coming out as well. So you're right, film has a great gradation from highlight to shadow. I will do some shooting, no problem. FP4 is the ISO 400 successor to HP5. Shit, man, these things go way too fast. And yeah, there we go. With amazing results, and processing is standard color film, so it shouldn't cost you $20. Well, I mean, at this particular lab, it was $20 per roll. So, and then Boogernator says, I have a 1949 Argus and looking for a good film that is more pastel than what you recommend. Well, I don't know. I haven't tried out this. I've got like 4 rolls of the Fujifilm Superia, and I heard that it has pretty good color. So, and it's relatively cheap because Fuji doesn't make it anymore. So, as far as I know, you can find it on Amazon for, I don't know, 12 bucks for 4 rolls or something. So that might be something you want to look at too. If nothing else, it's just good, cheap film. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop out of here. I appreciate everyone coming and hanging out with me today. And like I said, if you got any other questions, drop those down in the comment section below, and I will try to get to them just as soon as I can. Peace out.